Repeat after me. I am centered in love, harmony, and balance within. I am centered in love, harmony, and balance within. I am centered in love, harmony, and balance within. I am centered in love, harmony, and balance within. I am centered in love, harmony, and balance within. I am centered in love, harmony, and balance within. I am centered in love, harmony, and balance within. I am centered in love, harmony, and balance within. I am centered in love, harmony, and balance within. I am centered in love, harmony, and balance within. I am centered in love, harmony, and balance within. I am centered in love, harmony, and balance within. I am centered in love, harmony, and balance within. This is an awesome, powerful affirmation that I repeat daily, not just once a day. There are times I need to repeat it twice. This alone helps your sister. This alone helps your sister to stay on track, keeping me balanced, shall I say. All right? Keeps me focused on the goal. All right? Not only of self love, but also on my path. I had did a video earlier. I was going to speak about my son, and unfortunately, the camera that I was using it shut off. So I was like, you know what? I don't want to do a part one and part two, and maybe a part three. What I want to do is I'm gonna start back over, and I'm going to repeat some of the things that I spoken of in my last video concerning my son. Well, maybe know that I have two children. I have a 8-year-old, my little queen, and I have a my little king, my son. He's a man. He's 22 years old. He's such a blessing. Never ever kept giving me a problem. I'm grateful for that. Okay. He's one of those young. He's one of those young old souls. You know, he has been very wise for his age, and he also listens. Okay, let me just say that he listens, and some children just has it in them. They have the wisdom to just speaking. They listen. They don't so much go one ear not the other. Some actually do listen. Okay, and it helped a lot of children. Let me just say that as far as the pitfall that the enemy has before them, it helps a lot of them to bypass the pitfalls. All right, the traps of the enemy, because the enemy knows that their future upright. And with that being said, so the fact that his mom has gone through a lot spiritually, just me having this spiritual awakening. And my son knew about it because this conversation we have, I can talk to him like I can talk to my mother. So I'm very grateful. Out of all the people in my family, that's all I have is my mother to talk to. Because she too started off having her experiences. And it trickled down to me, all right? And so the fact that my son and I have a good relationship, I started, sharing some of my experiences with him. Was he looking like this? Yes, he was. But he had a listening ear, all right? He loved mommy and he knew that wasn't crazy, all right? We just have that kind of relationship to where, as I stated, he has a listening ear and he just, let me talk. He heard me out because he never knew when he was going to start having experiences. So instead of him just walking away like, I don't want to hear all that, no, he actually sat there and heard what I had, listened to me. He heard me out, and I really, appreciate that about him. Anyway, but I let him know when he started having experiences. feel free to talk to me, okay? I don't think you're crazy. Don't think you're cracking up. Just know your mom has been going through some things, and if there's anything that I can do for you, even just being a listening ear, I'm open to be here for you. Please come to me. Don't just, go in your room thinking you are alone, you have nobody to talk to. So anyway, now my son is starting to have experiences. All right, he's starting to awaken spiritually. It is a process. We all know this. It's pretty much like little incidents start to happen, by and by. But when they're happening, because life as you know it starts to change. You start to see differently. You even start to hear differently. All right. The frequency tone that I was once, hearing, the high pitched frequency sound. I was hearing this like, oh my goodness, um, like 2 years ago. I think like 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. Now he's hearing it. Okay, my mom, and my daughter, they have heard it before, but we would be hearing a tone and they wouldn't even hear it. Okay, that's what I'm trying to make the same as I can be seeing something, and while I'm seeing it, and my son's in the room with me, he won't see what I'm seeing. See, it, it's due to vibrations where you are vibrationally, as well as if this is fully open. Okay, but anyway, but it just warms my heart knowing that he has really listened to me when I was talking to him. He remember all those little things that I had spoken of as far as me letting him know what has helped me to overcome when I would face things, as far as seeing things that would bother me on the inside, and I would let him know how I was able to handle it and get through it and deal with it. Shall I say that's what you do at the end of the day that determines everything. Okay, let me just say that. But anyway, um, so by him listening to me, now he's having his experiences because I did tell him he needs to sun gaze and he needs to start meditating more because he gets to that place, he trying to figure life out. And I let him know where, I'm here, I'm a listening ear, I'm your mom, but the answers are inside of you. Okay. They're not outside of you, they are inside of you. You need to tap within and get those answers. And so he's been doing that. He's been putting the work in, yes indeed. And I'm so proud of him because now he's receiving downloads. I've already explained to him different ways of receiving downloads, whether you are receiving them in your dream state, whether you are receiving them while you're in meditation, or you're outside, you can receive downloads, especially when you're sun gazing. Okay, there are different ways that we can receive downloads, but you get to that place when you are operating your awareness to where you can get to that place of distinguishing whether you are dreaming or you're coming out of your dream and you're in the astral plane, you will get to that place of knowing the difference because the astral plane is very dreamy like. You could be in your room, but your room look totally different, you know, like a different reality, but you're out of your body. But anyway, he's starting to tell me a lot of his experiences now, and I'm so proud of him. A lot of things he's talking about, I know he knows what he's talking about because I've seen it. I've seen it. And it has really, given me such joy. I'm so grateful almost like God is starting to wake him up, It's giving me such a lot of joy because the fact that I'm a little ahead of him due to me having these experiences, I'm able to uh, you know, walk him through it, shall I say. And when he's explaining things to me, I'm like, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. He like, you do? I said, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, you own to something. Now he's having downloads. What I mean by that, everybody downloads are different. A lot of people, uh, their spiritual hearing, let me just say that, they will be hearing more in the ethereal plane, okay? Um, many people like they might hear voices, yeah, hearing sounds. There are times I'm hearing sounds like music is playing. It's gonna be different for everybody. When it comes to downloads, you might see uh, light codes. Okay, they're like cosmic language. A good example. A good example of cosmic language. Now, when many of you start to see this right here, family, many of you start to see this, Google it, okay? Because there are other people who can do light language. They actually write it out. Okay, I can write math out, but I still don't really know what they actually mean. But there are images of light languages on Google. You have to Google it. You just Google light language, and whatever light language that you're seeing, Google it, and you will find out the meaning of it. But anyway, I didn't know what this was at first, but it's like all of a sudden it hit me. Oh my goodness, I'm seeing light language. Okay, I just want to show me you a good example of what I be seeing. And not only do I see it outside of me, I can see this also reflected. Let me say that one more time. Not only do I see this inside of me, okay, the light languages, but you get to where as you continuously spiritually evolve, you start seeing outside of you these light languages. It's a sister of mine, Miss April. She checks my videos out every now and then. She sees them as well. She sees them as well. They're like little white, tiny circular looking dots. You will see them in the atmosphere, okay? And they're always linked up, okay? They're always linked up. So let me show you something real quick, fam. Just give me a minute. I'm gonna show you what I'm talking about. I'm just gonna give you an example, okay, of what light language look like. Okay, this is a prime example. I'm gonna give many of you an example. Hold on one minute. I want to give many of you an idea of if you see it, this is what it looks like. But it's different every time, okay? Now, this is sort of what it looks like. I hope many of you can see. I know it's, hold on, let me turn this around. This looks quite blurry. This is what the light wings will look like. Right here, it looks something like this when you're looking outside yourself, okay? It looks like little small bubbles, but they tiny and they all are linked together. You see this? How they're linked together? This is light language. But you will also see it looking like this. Now, if any of you start seeing these right here, you can Google because there are people that have gotten to the place where they spiritually they have evolved to where they are like channelers, shall I say? And I believe I'm doing it also. I'm connected with my higher self. The information comes to me, but everybody's channeled differently. But a lot of people have not only do they write them down, but they find out exactly what each symbol represent. Okay, they broke it down into a language. Okay, but anyway, I would see stuff like this also. I'm sure maybe you can see this. All right, I will see this right here. And then there are times I'm seeing this right here. All right. Now some people be like, oh, that might be little what you call it, like eye floaters. No, it's not eye floaters. That's not what it is. You should be able to tell the difference. All right. They're not eye floaters. These are white. Okay. And they are linked together and they are shaped differently. Okay. But for the most part, many of you she'll start seeing stuff that looks like this, and they have like a little bubble on the end, okay? A little small, little round bubble on the end. And every time I see them, they look light looking, okay? Nobody call it light language. They look light looking, okay? But anyway, um, so, you know, you either sing this light language or you're being downloaded this right here, but your interpretation of the light language are things that are coming to you. You're having new thought forms, okay, new ideas. All right, out of this light language right here. All right, people get that aha moment, okay, or they might come up like with an idea, stuff like that, or they might come to information that they didn't know before. All of a sudden, they just know, okay, they just know. And all this is coming out of, you know, receiving download, as I stated, during your meditation, as well as, while you're sun gazing, all right? Because I know I sun gaze, OMG. OMG. There's no telling what kind of downloads I'm going to receive when I'm sun gazing. The sun ain't nothing but a portal anyway. It's all kind of information coming from the sun. That's why I love the sun gaze. I love the sun gaze. Then lay down and meditate. Because for one thing, I'm seeing all kind of beautiful colors within me, right after sun gazing, beings that are luminous with, light. I mean, you could just see their body form. It's luminous with light. It's a beautiful thing to see. And so I just want to share that with many of you. Now, my son, he's not seeing these right here. He's not seeing this. I'm sorry. He's not seeing this yet, but he is receiving downloads. He had told me this morning, I'm not gonna really tell you actually what he has said. 'Cause I do believe it's meant for him, but I will say this. He's receiving a lot of information, and it just blows my mind. But he's receiving a lot of information. I'm sensing that this is like future information. You know, he's either receiving future information that's been downloaded to him, or you know, he is seeing his past life, because you can have a past life to where you was an advanced being, okay? Even though they live a longer lifespan than we do. What I mean by you could be an ET, you could have been anything before you end up, jumping into this body, shall I say. Or he could be having memories of maybe being on a ship and, seeing advanced technology. But the point I'm trying to make is he's now aware of what he's seeing, okay, within himself. Because now he's able to see inside of himself, and there are things coming to him. But anyway, one of his experiences, that he had shared with me this morning, he was seeing what looked like some kind of advanced technology. Okay, he saw two of them, and he had described it to me, and and he was in like, I mean, he was talking about it like in detail, right? He was like, I don't know how I know this stuff. He said, but I saw it. He said, I saw it. I saw the room and everything, And he said, I was just looking, and he said, and it had a button right here. And, it was as though he actually was there, and he had experience operating this device and everything. That's all I'm going to say. But the point I'm trying to make is, family, this is why the powers that be do not want the Most High God children to wake up. When I say the Most High God, I mean the human race, the children, all right? Because we are so much more than our flesh. We are so much more than just our flesh. God is in all of us. Everybody's having a different experience when it comes to source. There's light and there's darkness. Source created all. When that comes to understanding, I'm like, wow, here I am, bad mouth in the darkness, but all of it's part of source. Even the word, there was darkness, but source said, let there be light. The point I'm trying to make is there is no separation. I mean, yes, the light and the darkness, but we know there must be balance. Okay, there must be balance. But at the end of the day, once we get to that place of healing inside and we create balance within, okay, the chaos is not going to take over. It's pretty much, as I say, what part of source you want to experience. If you want to experience the light, if you want to experience love, okay, you speak it, all right? You tell that down, you tell the chaos, and you tell the shadow part of yourself, back down, okay? I'm running this, okay? Because you're choosing the light over the darkness. But the darkness is there. It must be balanced. And you're still going to see darkness. And use a swirl of light. It's a swirl of light. And I've seen it. My mom's seen it. We didn't know what it was. There's so many, spiritual portals within us. But it's where you are vibrationally as far as where it's going to take you. Okay? And I can go on and on with this subject, but I make this video too long. I'm just trying to speak on certain things. But the point I'm trying to make is that everybody continues to wake up on their own spiritually. They're going to start having experiences. You know, um, a lot of people, I truly sense they were not able to take. I mean, it was fine for me to talk about my experiences, but when I start talking about, being one and how there must be unity, a lot of people fell to the wayside. They start watching me, and I love them where they are. But little do they know, and I pray they find their way back. Little they know at the end of the day, there must be unity. If you cannot get to that place of walking in love and unity out here, how are you expect to find it on the inside of you? Love, unity, and peace. How are you able to find it inside of you if you cannot get this on the inside in check? People are good for telling other people, you should do this, you should do that. You should do this, you should do that. Because we have eyes to see, rightfully so. We have eyes to see. When we look outside of ourselves, we see the actions of people, but then we ourselves on the inside, we're unbalanced. But we get this in check, okay? Out here is going to look a whole lot smoother, a whole lot brighter. You find yourself in a state of harmony and peace, okay? Because you have conquered this on the inside, the flesh. As learning as well as learning to master your flesh. Okay, that's a whole other ball game. Anyway, but it made me feel so good knowing that now my son is having experiences and he's coming to me, talking to me about it because we definitely have this in common. I don't know about him being able to talk to his friends, but I let him know, where you are vibrationally. You know, the Most High God is going to send your soul family to you. Eventually, you're gonna. I don't care. It don't have to be a lot. You're gonna have that one that's gonna get you, and that's will be the one that you'll be able to talk to. You can't talk to everybody about your journey because everybody's not going to understand your journey. Okay, you have that one, that two. Be grateful for that one and that two. All right, but other than that, you being solo, that's how you find yourself. That's how you find yourself. I mean, if you know, woo, this journey right here. Oh yeah, many will fall by the wayside. Many will turn their backs on you because where you are, they're not feeling it, and they definitely don't understand what you're talking about. Let me just say that, okay? And just vibrationally alone, okay? Vibrationally alone, many are going to go other directions. All right? They're not feeling that love, love, unity talk. They're not feeling that. All right? And that's okay. In the beginning, when I started having experiences of spiritual doors within me, right? I would start seeing something look like this. You see that? It's a dot, okay? Sometimes, I'm gonna say sometimes, many of you would maybe see a dot, a shaded dot, and that's fine. Just keep staring at it, all right? Learn to be focused. That's the key thing. Learn to be focused. Don't be distracted what's going on to the right. Don't be distracted what's going on to the left. Because there's always going to be traffic even within yourself. All right. It's about being focused, okay, on the target, on the goal. For many, it will look shaded. For many, it will look a light, okay? But the more you focus on it, your essence is going to draw to it. Now, for some, for some, it's going to look like this. And then the more they stare at it, the more they stare at it, their essence is going to start moving towards it to where it's going to look like this. Okay, it's going to start off like this. And the more they stare at it, the more you stare at it, your essence is going to move forward. Okay, then it's going to start looking like this, like a spiral, moving towards you like this. You get it? This is what my mom started experiencing in the beginning. She told me about it. I was having no experience, not this kind of experience, okay? I wasn't even seeing within myself during this time. And so I was listening to her. I was listening to her. I'm 49 now, okay? Thank you. But I was having these experiences I started having my experience at the age of 43, going on 44. During this time, when I was 43, my mom started to see this, and she would be asleep, but she would start to be conscious of seeing a little tiny dot light. The more she stared at it, okay, all of a sudden, this spiral, I'm trying to break it down to make you understand. She was seeing this light in the beginning, okay? This is what her eyes was closed and she was asleep. And she's like, what is this? Okay? She sits inside of herself. All of a sudden, the more she stared at it, it started swirling like this towards her. You see that? It started swirling towards her like this. It was black and white, black and white, black and white. She told me about it. And there were other things she saw she didn't tell me. Check this out. She told me that she saw this swirling black and white um, spiral that was moving towards her, right? It started off as a light and then it got bigger the more she stared at it, her focus on it, it started moving towards her, right? That's how she told me. Check this out. I was like, wow, mom, that's interesting. Wow. Was it going one ear after the other? No. Like my son, I had a listening ear. I just, heard her out. But I was like, wow, that's interesting. Anyway, so I don't know, give or take 3 to 4 weeks later, okay, I was asleep in the middle of the night. All of a sudden, I saw a light at a distance and my eyes are closed. And I realized I wasn't dreaming because, I was kind of aware that wasn't sleeping anymore, but my eyes were still closed. I just haven't opened them up. But they was closed, you know. It's like all of a sudden you become aware on the inside. That's what it feels like. Even though your eyes are not open, you start to become aware on the inside. It's like the difference between you are asleep and now you're not asleep anymore. All of a sudden you operate in awareness and you start to see a pin dot light in the distance. And I was doing like this. I saw it. The more I stared at it, it got closer and closer, and then it was swirling. It was swirling. The more it got close to me, it was swirling like a spiral. Maybe if you have seen have watched the 13th Sun videos, you know what I'm talking about when I talk about the spiral. He spoke about it a lot. A lot of things he was saying going over my head, but I understand now due to me having my own spiritual journey, my own spiritual experiences. But I understand him now. Okay. Now, what came out of that, what it was, it was a spiritual portal, and there are several of them. When my essence started to move through it, okay, let me write this right here real quick. I know I should have did these diagrams earlier because I don't want to make the video too long. I'm just trying to make a point. For many, okay, for many, when they see this dot, they will experience this, okay? I believe everybody's experiences are different. For many, they will see this, okay? The dot turning into that. For many, they will see this dot and it will go through it. It will go through it, and the dot will turn into this. And it'll look like this, like a box within a box within a box within a box. Okay? And I'm doing that so I can visually, I can give many of you an idea of what it looks like when you're going through it. Okay, I'm doing it one more time. It look like this, moving towards you. All right? You just have a spiritual portal. I'm going to explain this so maybe you know when you see it, you can't see a girl didn't tell you, okay? That dot would turn, that dot, as you were moving towards it, your essence moving towards it, you're going through a portal. Now, while you're in that portal, I'm pretty much teaching also. Maybe you have ears to hear. But this is not for everybody, but for those who gets it, you have ears to hear. While you're going through it, there's been time when I came out of it, I was in awareness. Okay, I was in awareness when I came out of it. Like you're going through it like this, and then it's like you stop like this. I look back, and I did like this. I was in space. You know what I saw when I looked back? I saw this. So basically, I entered in this way, and while you in this part right here, okay, while you're in this part right here, going through this funnel part, okay, it looks like this. Okay, it looks like this. You're going through it, right? You're trying to break it down. While you're in there, when you come out, you come out this part right here. It's like an open gap. You come out of this, it says a funnel. You come out of this. When I came out and I looked back, this is what I saw in the distance. I saw this right here, and this started to close up. This started to close up to the size of this. All right. But all of a sudden, try to give you an example. It went it on the outside, it closed up from this side to just completely shutting up. I mean closing up. Okay, that's pretty much like going from point A to point B. Like scientists talk about this right here. Now, I really don't know how it works when they talk about folding space and all of that. But to me, that's what it feels like. You go from point A to point B, but we can go anywhere we want to go. You don't have to pay to go anywhere. Okay, you learn to master this on the inside. You can go anywhere you want to go, and it's for free. Okay, you can find out about anything you want to find out for free on the inside of you. It's gonna blow your mind. How am I able to know this stuff? Well, guess what? You've been around a long time. You're an old soul. Okay, things are coming to you. All right, because in your DNA anyway, your family lineage. Okay, your spirit is quickening you. Okay, well, our spirit has been quickened to where we're able to, as they say, we spiritually, our memory has been wiped. But when our spirit get quickened, okay, due to this awakening, you're able to remember. A lot of things come to you able to remember. The one trying to make it also when you're able to go within yourself, when you have these experiences, you want to go somewhere, it's just a thought. You're there. Okay, you might not, you might be thinking, well, how did this work? Because we are energy. We're energy, and all energy does it is ongoing. Okay, energy never stops. It's ongoing. Okay, as well as it transfers as well. Energy is ongoing and it transfers. I want to show one more thing. I know a lot. I did not. What I'm saying is going in many of you over your heads, but for many of you, I truly believe that you appreciate your sister for sharing this with you. May you apply this, okay? As far as when you see it, you won't. I don't think you will go in fear mode, but you'll see it for what it is, all right? Because there are many spiritual doors. There are spiritual doors that I haven't even gone through yet. Let me just say that. All I'm doing is sharing some of the doors that I have seen within myself. Now, also, many will see something like this. Again, everybody's different. It might look shadowy or it might look like a white dot. Okay. For the most part, I see this within myself. It looks shadowy looking. That's not a bad thing. Remember, there must be balance. That dot, when I stare at it, and remember, it's where you are vibrationally that determines where you're going. When I look at it, you know that saying X marked the spot. It's pretty much like I have programmed myself. When I see this, I think of X mark the spot. This helps keeps me focused because I'm focusing on the spot, you know, where I'm trying to go. I'm trying to stay focused on the inside. There's so much traffic on the inside. There's a lot going on, all right? Because you take your eyes off your mark, okay, sometimes it will go away. So if you got your eyes on the prize, on a certain mark, keep your eyes on it because always a lot of stuff going on all around you. You keep your eyes on it and you see this in the distance. Okay, like a little pin dot. You know when Christ talk about how it's hard for people to enter heaven. Something about I forgot the verse now, so don't throw me under the bus. But you know how he says it's easy for a camel to go through a needle. I know many of you remember that. I forgot what verse it is. Okay, I should have googled it before I said it. But he talks about how it's easier for a camel to go through a needle. All right, and you know carnally it doesn't make sense, doesn't it? Anyway, let me say it like this. You must get focused on the inside. Okay. If you have a purpose where you're trying to go on the inside, keep your eyes on the prize. This was the prize for me when I'm within myself. This is the prize to me. I focus on this, okay? While I'm focusing on it, my essence is moved towards it because I'm also thinking X marked the spot for me. That helps me to stay focused. When I'm doing that, I see this. I'm seeing this. Are you watching? all of a sudden disappear. It's not perfect looking. It's not perfect looking, but maybe you know what you're seeing. It looks like a cross, okay? It looks like a cross, okay? It looks like a cross. I start seeing these lines. They just naturally appear. I don't know why, but they naturally appear. All of a sudden, I start seeing these lines, right? And it hits this is my essence, moving towards it. The more I move towards this, and I'm thinking the whole time X marks the spot, this right here would turn into this. Okay? And then it's moving forward. I'm 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 moving forward. Everybody's experience will be different. But many people are gonna start seeing what looks like light shooting like this, as though you're in some type of a good example. I don't know, maybe inside one of those freight trains underground, and you know how the train is moving at fast speed, and you see lights on this side, lights on this side, but it's your spiritual essence moving forward. And when you're going through these spiritual portals, all you see is light. There are times like you can feel the light. It's like I can't explain it. I can explain it. Everybody got their own experience, but you're shooting through light. Okay, so that's all I can say. You're shooting through light, and you see all kind of colors, but you're moving so fast, And then at times you do like this. You're still going straight, but you're also turning at times. You do like this. You're going straight, like a speed of light. Then you go. Then sometimes you'll shift, but your eyes are still on that dot, and then you shift and you're going this way, and then you go back straight, and then you go this way, and you go back straight, but you're still going straight because when you come out, you may not see it. You coming out of something like this. When I saw this inside of me, right? It's crazy. I happened to be watching, I don't know, Discovery. It's some kind of science program, and they were talking about quantum and portals and time travel. And this scientist drew this right here. This scientist drew it. Okay, I'm sure many of you have seen it. And I said to myself, wow. So that's what I was seeing inside of myself. Yes, we travel through them as well. I have traveled through it as well. My experiences is my experiences. Many of you, you have your own experience, yes, share it. Sharing is caring. Don't think about people is going to tear you down and badmouth you, criticize you. That comes with it. Being on here, speaking your truth, you gotta have thick skin, all right? 'Cause everybody ain't gonna be lovey-dovey. Everybody's not going to agree with you, all right? Those comments, a lot of times, they will not be so nice. So you gotta have to learn to have thick skin and see it for what it is. For one thing, people feel what they do not understand, and a lot of times people, they think you weird and strange, and you like over the top. They ain't trying to hear all that, okay? So instead of them just moving on, they gotta just call you names or leave a negative comment or thumb you down, whatever. Just love them, see them from where they are, love on them, be like I wish you well, and keep it moving. But you're gonna have to have thick skin to be able to speak your truth. And the power to be know that people are going to criticize you. That's why a lot of times, you can still speak your truth. It's just when your orders get real, 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 real big, okay? When you get like over 100,000 people watching you, or over 100,000 subscribers, that's when you might start being attacked, okay? It just depends on the amount of people that's watching you. But if you pretty much, under a certain amount of people watching you, you pretty much under a certain amount of numbers as far as subscribers, for the most part, you won't be targeted. Anyway, I just want to share it with somebody. Um, this right here, also, when you're going through it, it will look something like this as well. I just want to share it because everybody see differently within themselves. Okay, everybody see differently. I guess I'm doing it right. I haven't did it in a while. Anyway, I'm giving you an example. It would look like a box. Okay, you're going through it. See, it would look like a box. You're going through it. See that? You're going through it. a box within a box within a box within a box. Some people they'll go through a spiral. The spiritual doors are different. None of them are really per se negative. They're just spiritual doors. But please know at the end of the day, no matter what kind of spiritual door you go through, it's where you are vibrationally that determines your destination. Okay, that's it. Period. Where you are vibrationally determines your destination. Um, but let me say this real quick. When I was seeing this, like my mother, one thing she did not tell me that I ended up finding out about, because she left a lot of information out. When I went through this right here, okay, the spiral, the black and white spiral, okay, that swirls as you go through it. And I shared this many times. I'm going to share it again just in case somebody might end up seeing it. I don't really say it's anything negative. It's a learning experience. Let me just say that, and it's a testimony. When I was going through this spiral, this black and white spiral, okay, I came out in a realm that, let me just say, I wouldn't want to be in. This realm was very hopeless to me. I saw people that looked shadowy looking, kind of blotted out, shadowy looking, and it was all like just walking to and fro around me. You know, you hear some walking this way, some walking this way, some walking past me, some walking behind me. You just saw people everywhere in some kind of hold. I call my what comes to. I'm just going to tell you what comes to me. They were in some type of holding space. The space was vast, and these people they had clothes on, but they looked transparent looking because they were in the spirit. That's why they were very. You could see through them. They were in spirit form, but you could still see their earthly form, okay, but they were in spiritual form. They also looked kind of blackened out, kind of grayish, blackened out. But the point I'm trying to make is in this realm, what I was picking up, it felt very hopeless. It felt like they was in limbo, okay. And what came to me was the value of the shadow of death. A lot of people have not experienced seeing this realm. It is an experience to see it. It's like they are walking to and fro and they don't know where to go. There is a light that is in this space. I don't know if they don't see the light or they're trying to avoid the light. I don't know. I haven't asked my higher self. I'm gonna just leave that alone. But all I know is that it is a light, but you don't really see what that light is. Okay, but it's a light in that ring. And you know what? That light could have been me. That light could have been me. Okay, that's why even that darkness, I was able to see them. The light could have been me, but they were not coming to me. They were just walking in limbo, but I was able to see them because the atmosphere was dark. They looked shadowy looking, kind of blackened out, transparent, still humanoid looking. And you could see many of their faces, but they looked shadowy looking, but they looked very hopeless. And they look and but me interpreting what I was seeing, it looked like they were in limbo. Okay, that's like walking around and like you're in a daze, kind of like a zombie. They just walking around, no smiling, no nothing, just walking around. You know, kind of remind me of people who be like in the what they call the nut house. You know how they walk around like they're all high, and they just walking all around, and as though they're not in their awareness of where they are. You know, uh, but the place seemed very hopeless. Wherever this place is, I was able to experience to see it. Now, my mom didn't tell me anything about her seeing. Oh, she told me she saw what looked like some shadowy figures. When I started to explain to her what I was seeing, okay, once I went through that spiral, spiritual portal, she said, "Yeah, yeah, I saw him too." I said, "Well, why did you tell me?" She said, "Well, I ain't even want to talk about it. I ain't want to talk about it, but I know what she's talking about, and many of you do too if you've seen it." That's my testimony. The valley of the shadow of death, it exists. Okay, it exists. Um, I look at it as a testimony to be able to see it. But I also have other testimony of being able to see in the higher realms. Okay, about the grace of the Most High God. So I know of what this word speaks of when it comes to a lot of things. I know that it is true for me. For me, I know because I've seen it. Okay, I've seen it, and you know, this so-called debate about, I don't know. I'm gonna have to do another video on that. I don't want to change subject. I don't want to do that to many of you. Change subject, talking about one thing to the next, and I will share more experiences. But I've also had, an experience of, as far as going back in another lifetime when Christ was on here on earth. I had an experience of seeing something. I'm going to talk about that on another video because they're right there. This it's a message that needs to come out of that. As far as we talking about that, so I want to leave that alone. But I will speak on that also. It's a time for everything. But anyway, maybe you're gonna have your own experiences, embrace them, write them down, write them down. Okay, you have these experiences. It's not meant for you to just have them. Be like, okay, write them down. You never know. You might end up writing a book. At least you have your notes, okay, of your spiritual journey. Okay, write all your experiences down. I even tell my son, I said, write this stuff down. I don't have no journal. I don't have no book, but I'm gonna give him a book. Ain't gonna be no excuse. Write this stuff down. Even just him talking about it, I resonate truth in what he said he was seeing. Okay, I resonate nothing but truth. Yes, he was having his own experiences, and yes, he was seeing something. Okay, he was having, flashes of memories of something that he actually saw. Okay, it just felt too real when he was talking about it. As far as this advanced technology. But anyway, um, family, you'd be surprised where just on the inside can take you. You'd be surprised, where it can take you. Your angels are trying to, communicate with you and guide you. And a lot of times, you're communicating through, you know, symbols, okay, all kind of ways, even through nature, okay, and I'm learning this to be true myself. Numbers, okay. Family, when you see those numbers, follow them. I'm learning this as well. Don't just say, oh, 2222, angel numbers. On that particular day, you saw that 2222, okay? You saw it. Follow it. Don't just go by what it means, okay, as far as Googling it. Follow that number for that whole day. You saw the 222, follow it. You on YouTube and you see somebody that got 22 views, it's a message for you. It's a message for you. If you're out and about and you at the store, and for those of you who might play a little numbers every now and then, little lottery, little scratch games, you see number two, get that number two card. As a matter of fact, get two of the number two cards. Okay? I'm just trying to tell you, follow the numbers. It can take you places. If you have one of those days, but you happen to see that 2222 and somebody call you and you don't feel like being bothered, but here it is, you know. I'm just trying to give you some scenarios, some examples. Um, I'm just trying to give you some example, but let me think of another one. Let me think of another one. Let me think of another one. Well, it don't have to be just that day. You saw it. You saw the triple twos, right? But as your day go on, and even the next day, what the point I'm trying to make is follow the pattern of the two. Okay, it don't have to be 222. Be two period. 22, three twos, or just two period. Follow it. That's the point I'm trying to make. And going back to, if you had a bad day, you don't feel like being bothered. Somebody called and you look at it and you don't answer the phone. And all of a sudden, 30 minutes or an hour later, you get another call, you look at it, and you still don't feel like being bothered. Answer it. Let the second person that try to call you answer it. Follow the number. Synchronicity. Follow it, follow it, follow it. That's source trying to get something to you. It's a message behind it, and you don't know what's going to come out of that. Okay? It's not just the normal message of 222. Follow the number. Okay? I'm sharing this because this has really bless me in ways you think not. Okay? following these divine angel numbers. Okay, you don't know where it's going to take you. You don't know where it's going to take you. Just follow it. It can have you watch. It can have you watching the right video at the right time. Okay, and you know, or meeting the right person. And I ain't talking about just no significant other. It's just meeting pe- uh, just meeting the right people that's sort of trying to bring into your life, okay, to help elevate you, to help take you to the next level. That's the point I'm trying to make. You don't know what these numbers going to take you. They might even take you to where, have you uh, jumped on your purpose as far as maybe have you traveling. You don't know where these numbers are going to take you, all right? They may have you land your dream job just following those numbers. You might be looking online and, especially if you're somebody that's been out of work and you have it to where you're getting these emails, you know, um, alerts letting you know about a job or whatever, you might see something on there, about the job, and the time might say 2:12 or 2:02. You may be like, let me check into that. You're following the number. That's what I'm trying to make. I'm trying to give you like some scenarios. Or you might be somebody that might have a jersey on, my sisters. It might be 2-2. You just never know. That's what I'm trying to make. You just never know. These numbers have really blessed me. And I don't really get into it how they've been blessing me with the have, you know. Uh, but I will say this, for a good example, I will share this with you real quick. But I ain't gonna tell you how I use them. I could be outside, right? And I'm outside meditating, and all of a sudden I see a bird, and I'm admiring the bird. It'd be one bird, right? And I'm getting to where I'd be like, okay, one, you know, I'm storing all this information on the inside. I'm like, one. And all of a sudden I see four birds, flock of birds flying across. And I'm like, Bo. Of course, mentally I'm storing it. I'm storing it mentally, okay? And then I see two birds. I see them out in the distance. I'm like, two. Hmm. On the inside, I'm calculating 142. So I wrote the numbers down. I'm sitting around. Now this is nature. I'm sitting around looking at TV. The North Carolina, lottery numbers pop up. You know what I'm going to say, don't you? Now this is me observing nature. It ain't just birds. It's nature. Period. Those are divine numbers. Those numbers came out. Thank me later. The point I'm trying to make is signs comes to us in ways we think not. Signs, they come to us in ways you think not. But you're operating in awareness and you are aware, seeing things for what it is, okay? It'll start taking you places. It'll start taking you places, okay? Um, get me in your journal, start writing things down, okay? And I gave many of you some little tips as far as spiritual portals, and there are others. I just want to share that with many of you. Um, don't worry about the different type of portals that you will see inside of you. You make sure you are vibrationally where you need to be as far as, you know, um, the experiences that you're going to have when you're going through them. Because as I stated, where you are vibrationally, um, that's what's going to determine where you end up. Okay? That's it in a nutshell. All right. I'm always letting love be my guide. I'm always in my heart space. I'm always in a place of love and unity. Okay. I emulate that outside of me. I have that thought form flowing in me and outwardly all around me. I am love. I am love. Okay. That's the energy I'm giving off. I am love. I am unity. Okay. That's the energy signature that I give off. And that's what I attract unto myself. I thank you. I love you. And until next time, Bye for now.